Hey, Victor.
Hello.
How you
Hello,
doing,
Bert.
man? How you doing?
I'm doing
Good,
good.
good, good.
It's hot here in Sweden, so it's hot here in the studio.
Oh, yeah, I bet you.
Yeah.
Gathering of Kings. A great new album coming out, huh?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. I listened to it over and over again this morning between the instrumentals and the vocal tracks. Some amazing tracks.
Thank you. I think I've worked my ass off to be honest, because I just I became a father a few months ago. So I actually finished the songs while taking care of a 2-week-old baby.
Oh yeah.
I helped my beautiful partner, of course. But it was pretty stressful, and I really had to put in an extra gear to finish them all. But I think I did.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the first release in 2019, First Mission.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that album.
Well, it came. There was Ron and Nida Dahlgren, who were like two how do you say, eldsjälar. They were really supporters of the genre. They run a rock music website,
right?
And they have a lot of connections with with musicians and stuff. So they wanted to start like a dream team sort of project, like a one-off kind of thing,
right.
like just make one album with their favorite musicians.
Right.
And so they got some pretty big names, like Björn Strid from Night Flight Orchestra,
right?
And guys like that. Chris Laney of Pretty Maids.
That's my friend.
Oh yeah, he's a good
friend of mine. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really good friend.
Yeah.
So,
he's really cool.
Oh, cool. Tell me a little bit about Discovery in 2020.
Well, we wanted to slim down because there were a lot of guys involved with the first album, and we wanted to slim down and make it more of a band because the first album really was quite successful with our measures. So we wanted to keep the fire up and slim it down. So we trimmed down the personnel, and I actually did most of the recording on that album. I did most of the keyboards and the guitars, and I wrote the songs. So it was quite a different story. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, so we weren't able to promote the album live as we wanted to, perhaps. Right. So, I mean, the big difference between that album and this album is that we once again decided to put in the live musicians, the live guys that we've used for these years. They are now also involved with the recording as well. Right. So it's more of a band effort this time, which I really like. I appreciate it.
Right. Tell me a little bit about Saffire.
So yeah, Sapphire. Well, it's sort of my passion project that I've been doing since I was a teenager, and it's it's just one of those things that I just loved writing whatever kind of hard rock stuff that comes to mind, and if I can't fit it anywhere, I just put it into Saffire basically, and so it's Sapphire's band. We do kind of a 70s hard rock, but we have a lot of ingredients from all over the place, I think. So it's sort of a family kind of band almost. We just released our fourth album this spring, so we're still kicking.
Cool. You originally started out as a drummer, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So why'd you switch to guitar?
Well, to be honest, I was also doodling with the guitar at the time, and I started writing songs for the band, and I just felt it wasn't that popular to, when
Right.
when we were doing rehearsal, and I just ran up to the guitarist and showed him, oh, this is how you're gonna play. This is my song. And he was like, oh, well, I want to play like I want to play.
Right. Yeah.
So I just decided, I have to play the guitar.
Right. Yeah.
Basically,
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
that was it. So I think I had an advantage when I switched to guitar, because I had the drummer mindset as well,
Right.
for writing songs, so I could put those two and two together
Right. Yeah.
when
Wow.
finishing my songs. So that was pretty good.
Cool. Cool. Tell me a little bit about your experience with Sweden Rock Festival.
Oh yeah, that's we played first at 2016, I think, with
Right.
Saffire, and we started the whole festival with which was a dream come true, of course.
Right.
We were a very small band, and we we didn't know if anyone was going to show up, really.
Right.
So there were a few thousand there, so that was really an extremely pleasant experience, and it's an extremely professional festival with extremely sweet crew and people there. It's the largest in Sweden, of course. And a few years ago we did one with the Gathering of Kings as well, and it was just going to be that live show and that first album, of course, and then we were just going to dissolve, but we got so much love for that that gig, so we decided to keep on moving.
Cool. Did you get paid well for the McDonald's commercial?
Oh yeah. Well, no comments. It's one of those things. I worked as a jingle writer as a while, and yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Cool. Tell me, let's go to the new album now. Tell me a little bit about it, the title, the album cover, everything about it.
Well, the cover is we sort of made up sort of like a sci-fi, sort of a retro sci-fi story with the first album, and we decided to keep it going. So the Discovery album is sort of a continuation of the sci-fi story from the first, and the third one is, I don't know if you've seen the first.
Yeah, they did.
They landed and they're walking towards a cave, and it's sort of that same event, but from the alien perspective.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it's that's the most of it, actually. It's sort of a fantasy, retro sci-fi kind of thing.
Right. Like the first single I heard off the album was Vagabond Rise. Amazing track, great vocals, great music, everything about it. Was there anything on that whole disc that was kind of difficult in writing the lyrics?
Well, yeah, sort of, because I usually collaborate with Alex Frisborg, one of the vocalists.
Right.
But this spring, we both he and I became fathers. He became father to his second baby boy. So there wasn't a lot of time to get together and noodling around. So I did most of the lyric writing, and a few songs were actually about my my new experiences as becoming father and stuff like that. So I always do some personal lyric writing, and then we do some totally off the wall sci-fi kind of thing as well. So I like to mix it up, but the personal stuff could be described as a bit more difficult, I suppose, because you want to put the right words in another way when you're writing a sci-fi story or whatever. Right.
Well, you got 13 tracks. It must be pretty difficult to come up with that much. I know some instrumentals, but I mean, lyrically, I mean, how long did it take?
Well, I wrote the lyrics in like 5 weeks or so, I think. So some of the stuff came together pretty quickly, because I just decided to put in an extra gear.
Right.
But I mean, the first few songs, like Vagabond Rise, were written last year, actually, because we released it in January. So it was as always, it was a bit chopped up. But yeah, I usually work pretty effectively when I just put in that extra gear.
Right.
I think that's basically what I need. Someone to light fire on my ass and make things happen.
Cool. Was it difficult picking the vocalists for this? I think you got like 5-6 vocalists doing tracks on this album.
Yeah, exactly. We got actually we got 7 lead vocalists if you count the two ladies that have a guest vocal part on one of the songs. But yeah, that's always sort of the tricky question, because we got 5 amazing vocalists,
right?
And but they have very distinct sort of characteristics to their voice. Right. So we decided to you just have to listen and envision the voice, I think. And in a couple of the songs, we actually decided to go the opposite route, because Alex, he's mostly the guy who sings like the sort of the bit more soft, mellowy, almost pop kind of songs with the Gathering Kings. But we decided to no, we're gonna give him the most rock and roll of the songs, which is a song called Here Be Dragons. And Tobias Jansson is perhaps known for his raunchy rock and roll voice. Right. And we decided to give him one of the most pop, mellowy kind of songs, because we don't want to be predictable. Right. Yeah. So, but that's the luxury of having these 5 vocalists, because they can do anything that I throw them at. So I'm really privileged. Cool.
Was there any vocalist that you wanted to be on the album, but just couldn't make it?
No, we decided to not do any more of guest vocalist so much. We want to have the 5 guys in the band, and maybe do like 1 or 2 guest starring kind of thing. And we discussed earlier about having a woman in the whole men's club that we have. So that was why we invited the pop group One More Time. Right. They're very famous in Sweden, but they haven't done any sort of rock stuff as far as I know. Right. So, but I think it was a pretty cool gamble to have them on. I think it was pretty successful.
Your label, basically, did they give you carte blanche and everything you did, or was there any stipulations or anything like
that? What do you mean carte blanche?
Like you could do whatever you wanted.
Oh yeah. The thing is, we have our own label, so our label is basically Ron and Nina, who started the project, right? And I'm involved as well. So as long as they run the business side of things, and I run the creative side of things, right? So it's all about having a discussion, and they said, oh, we want to put out the album this summer, and I said, well, I'm gonna try, and and that I did. And so if I had said no, I can't do it, they would have pulled the plug, and we would have released it later probably. Right. So that's nice to have, that they're not they're not evil corporate people who have to put out an album and make money out of it. It's not that kind of a cooperation at all.
Have you heard any feedback yet from the release?
Yeah, we've had a couple of reviews who have been really overwhelmingly good. So that's always a relief when the first reviews are coming in and they're positive. Right. You're always in doubt. Is this any good? Is this shit? Have I just wasted everyone's time here?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. So Oh, thank you. So yeah, so it's a really good relief to have the first reviews being positive.
Right. Plus, your press people do a hell of a job too, because I mean, I didn't even know the band, but I go through all my emails and I listen to everything. You know, at least 1 or 2 tracks. And when I heard Vagabond Rise, I said, "Oh shit, I got to get in touch with these guys." You know, so like, you know, without them press people that you work with, they did a great job, man.
Yeah, we actually, I mean, the first 2 albums we just basically released, and we thought, you know, if anyone likes it, that's cool. But you know, with this album, we actually decided to hire these PR people, who have apparently done a really good job. So far, really good. We were very happy with them.
Wow. When you go to get a new guitar, is there something special that you pick out of it, or you how's that work?
When I buy a new guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, I have too many guitars, so you know. Of course, I love the classical sort of style. You know, the Les Pauls, like this one.
Excellent.
Like it's Japanese Greco. So I'm really getting into the whole Japanese 80s the lawsuit era, if you've heard about it. You know, when Gibson, I think, filed a lawsuit against all the Japanese guitar brands.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
So they're amazing guitars, and they can be bought for quite little money. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I love the, you know, the old Gibson stuff, like, you know, the Flying V's and Les Pauls and Explorers. But I'm also getting into the 80s Super Strats, you know, the Kramers and the Charvels. Yeah. So I'm a bit of an all eater.
Cool. And what guitars do you like?
Well, currently I with getting of things, I use this one. It's a Jackson. I just love this crackle finish.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm just getting into the whole Floyd Rose kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But I quite frankly, I suck at it. But but I you know, it's we're all kids in the start. How do you think? Yeah. So
cool.
I'm getting the hang of it.
You have any goals for this album, or you know, something to look for in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I hope this album will get us further than. I mean, the first 2 albums have been very successful with considering with the budgets that we have worked with and stuff like that. So it's more of it had been more of a people's movement almost, because it's been very much mouth spread of how do you say? Well, it's spread by word, or how do you say?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this time, I mean, we of course we hope to have a bit more international recognition, and apparently it's working so far. Wow. So I mean, coming abroad and playing gigs abroad. We're having actually one gig in Germany this in a couple of months.
Right.
So I mean, we're looking quite brightly towards the future here.
Word of mouth is a big thing, because even like when I heard the songs, I passed it on to one of my writers, Mark Mallow, and he thought the same thing. Amazing. You know, so like, you know, I'm sure he's going to pass it on, and then pass it on, and pass it on, and you know, so like
that could be very powerful, and so I thank you for
no
spreading the word.
You ever plan on maybe having some shows in the United States?
Of course, that would be a dream to come in the States and play. I mean, we're really working towards 2023 to come and play in abroad.
Right.
And you know, unless the pandemic or whatever put a stop to it, then I think it might happen. We're working towards it. Yeah, most definitely.
So what's a typical day for you? Do you stay in the studio most of the day, or do you do I guess take care of the baby?
Yeah, it's a mixture of a lot of things. But yeah, I do. I sit in the studio. I write music. I do some mixing and producing for other people and clients as well. And you know, I'm quite feeling really privileged because I've written all these jingles
Right.
a few years ago, and they'll can still, you know, provide me with enough to pay for the studio and stuff like
Right.
that. So I can really put my time in doing what I want with music. So I feel really blessed and privileged that I can do that. So I'm just going to keep doing it as long as I can.
Great. Will the album come out on vinyl?
Yes, but of course there are very long delays with the vinyl production right now. So I think it's bound to come out like early next year, unfortunately. But you know, that's their reality.
Is there anything coming up you like to talk about that I didn't talk to you about?
Well, we have we got a new. I'm not sure I'm supposed to say that actually. I don't want to give anything away, but you know,
Okay.
there might be a few songs released on the way up to the album release.
Right.
So you know, keep an eye out on our social media and stuff. There might be a few more songs released. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cool. And how can people get in touch with you or buy the album?
We have a small selection of stores that sell the album right now. I know some people have criticized us for it, and you know, I can understand it. But to understand our point of view, we have to when you're using like the big distributors,
Right.
you lose so much of the income, and we're such a small band, so we really need that little extra income that you get by using the small selected stores that we decided to work with. So I think you can order it at AR Heaven.
Right. Yeah. I know.
As a foreigner, and in Sweden there are actually, I think you can order it at Bengans as well, and CD-ON and Ginza. And if you have any questions about how to do it, you can always message us on our Facebook, because we're pretty active with our Facebook, and we really try to, you know, accommodate our fans if they have any questions.
When you go out on tour, is there anything specific you like to eat?
Well, I haven't actually toured that much, but when I have, I don't want to eat too unhealthy, because my stomach gets upset. So, you know, mix it up with a salad. That's what I think.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the new album, Victor. You know, congratulations on your new child. And what's the name?
Oh, my child?
Yes.
It's Juni, which is Swedish for June.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, June, right? So, congratulations on everything that's going good your way, and I wish you the best. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
You know, if you're a fan of melodic rock, please give us a chance.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Victor. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.